think we are on. This is my first live stream that I've run, so I hope everyone will bear with me. I guess there's no one really here yet, but hopefully at some point people will see this in the future, and I, you get where we're coming from, I hope. Um, I'm here because we need to change the world together. Uh, it's not something I can do alone. Have thought for many years about what I could do to really have an impact, not just to help a few people, but to really make the change that I want to see in the world. And in the last year or two, I've come to the conclusion that the only way that we can really do it is through a mass movement. People have tried to do things like this before, but before we had the internet, there wasn't really a good way of organizing everyone, getting the same information out to people, letting them communicate and figure out what they actually wanted to do. But now I think we have that opportunity, and I hope that we will actually take it. To that end, I want to make it clear that this is not something that there are other people behind. There is no funding for this. There is nothing but what you see. I've got a few $100s in the world and a lot of debt. I mean, not insurmountable debt, but, you know, it, I'm not someone who is looking to make money out of this. I don't I have my own personal political ideologies and philosophies, whatever. But I feel that even more important than my own personal views on things like that is this process where I think we can find common ground on a lot of things and really change the world for the better. Uh, Even if we can't make it exactly what I would prefer, we can still make it a lot closer and do a lot of good for everyone. But to make that happen, we need people. So I'm not asking for your money. If we ever need funding, I hope that we can get it from wealthy governments with no strings attached, because having them run it would ruin this. But, to the extent that we can make it happen right now without money, that's what I would prefer. So we're not selling anything. We are not taking donations at this point. I hope we never have to. And really what we want is to have people come here, talk, listen, start to get to know what people need, what problems people are facing in the world, and what the common ground is that we can find to build a better world off of. So I have someone here to help me since I'm not a great public speaker and I can't filibuster for days, but I'll give him a chance to talk for a second, maybe ask a question or two.
Sure. So let me introduce myself briefly. My name is Kit Dotson. I'm a journalist and a student anthropologist, and I'm kind of here mostly to act in my journalistic capacity. And so I should tell my friend here, who is, you are coming from the Our Voice social account, which means that your name is not displayed. So one of the things that you should probably do is introduce yourself to everyone and
Yeah.
speak a little bit about yourself. You have spoken a bit using like my and saying I and stuff like that, and you should probably introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit about yourself and you know say like why you're bringing this into the world. You've given a really good abstract as to what our voice is for, but give us a little bit of a personal reason, like who you are.
All right. Well, my name is Sean Esplin, and I, I mean, I think I already explained a little about why I want to do this. I mean, I've been involved in other types of activism a bit. Nothing too crazy, but things that some people would love and some people would hate. And
That's fine.
you know, I always felt like I was doing some good, just it wasn't enough to me. And you know, I don't know how much I should get into to exactly what it is here right now, but toward the end I was trying to branch out into to other more you know standard charity type work and stuff, but it still felt like it wasn't going to have the impact that I feel like we need. Um, I mean, I guess what I should talk about maybe more than my personal reasons are, you know, what's really driving me to do this now is I just see so many problems in the world that I don't feel like we can address through the systems that we have right now. Um, you know, I know some people don't really believe in climate change issues or think that they're not man made. I mean, regardless of how you feel about that, I think that everyone can recognize that we've had a dramatic impact on the environment in the world. Um, the amount of plant animal species, the fish in the ocean that have been decimated. Um, I think I read that something like 74% of migratory freshwater fish have been lost in the last, uh, 40 years or so, 40, 50. I mean, not species, I don't think, but the populations. It just, we're having a huge negative impact on things that I think we all should care about. Um, but I don't want to make it all about that because that's only one aspect of it. We have so many things that we see in our own lives. Homelessness, hunger, war. Uh, Low wages for a lot of people. Just struggles to survive, to have a place to live, to eat, to you get the medical care you need in countries like ours, at least. Um, there are so many issues that we face that our current political systems are just not equipped to really address. They, at least in the case of the U.S. and I think many countries, there's pretty much gridlock, and you might make a very small amount of progress on some things, but I think we need dramatic progress very quickly, and I don't see any way to do it but to come together outside of that system and force the change. And when I say force the change, I want to be very clear that this is nonviolent.
Okay.
there is no way that that we can go up against all the militaries of the world and win, without horrific losses. And there's no reason to do that. We already have the power to make the change that we want. We just have to agree on what we want to change. And I think that's the way that we have been kept from making this change so far. Apart from the lack of communication, it's just being divided, having people intentionally push us apart, drive a wedge between, left and right or whoever, uh, and making people hate each other and not want to work together despite having largely the same interests in most areas.
I think that that segues really nicely into the next question that came to mind immediately while you were speaking, and that is, where did you come up with the name for the that you're using for the social movement that you're speaking to, Our Voice, for example?
Well, uh, unfortunately, it's difficult to find domain names these days that are any
Good
good.
point.
So I went through a bunch of different things that I wanted to try, but um, ultimately this was one that fit with the idea. Um, it kind of describes what we want is to give literally everyone in the world a voice. And that's another important point that I want to make, is that this is for literally every person in the world. um, I don't care whether you think I hate you or I probably don't. But even if I did, this would be for you, and I would not want to shut you out of it. Um, it doesn't matter what I think of your politics, your ideology, your history, anything. This is about, giving everyone a chance to, let the world know what problems they're facing, what, what they think we can do to improve things, uh, and hopefully to find a place that everyone can um, fit into the world in a way that they're happy with. You know, I feel like most people today are forced into um, what they do through their entire lives, just based on the society that they were born into. They get generally you know their values, their ethics, their religion, their ideas about economics, their ideas about history, um, their jobs. What I mean, I shouldn't even say their jobs, but the things that they do with their lives are largely dictated by the systems that were put in place before they were ever born. And those things go back, thousands of years, um, with, I mean, obviously significant change, but they're still rooted in the same kinds of, power struggles and, domination of people that I would personally like to see end.
So, with this, you say you're talking about a social movement, but how are you going to deliver something that's going to give everyone a voice? Like, how do you see fomenting or building that?
I mean, that's the issue is I can't personally deliver that.
Okay, yeah.
um, I mean, I've thought about it. I wanted to set up like a social media platform myself and open it up to people, or, maybe with a small group of developers, whatever. Um, but I realized that it was going to take far too much time and far more resources than I could muster. Uh, Really, I think that we need to start with the website we have a beta forum over there, which may go away or change, but if it goes away, we'll archive it and make sure that everything stays. Remind me to come back to transparency, but
And its URL is the same as the one that's visible as your name right now, our voice social.
yeah, it's
Okay.
forum.ourvoice.social for the forum, and
Okay.
and yeah, that's the main website.
Okay.
Um, we also have social media accounts on most of the major platforms. Um, if we need to, we can make more. Um, we don't have anyone managing those right now. So, I mean, these are the kinds of things we need. We need people to come in to understand what's going on, to take an active role in helping to get the message out, to run some things. But if you're not interested in doing that, the other thing that I think is really important for people to start doing right now is to just talk to each other. Um, I think the most important part of this right now is to break things down and find our fundamental agreements rather than our disagreements. I think it's good to talk about our problems, um, but rather than looking for direct solutions in our current systems, I would rather people you know listen and really hear what people's problems are without thinking about the solutions that have been proposed, but to instead look deeper into it and say, okay, what are the fundamental issues that are causing these problems? And I think once we find those things, and you know, we come to some agreement on what the rights that people should have are, the responsibilities that they should have, you know what protections we should offer to everyone and everything else in the world. If we can lay down a solid foundation there, rather than starting from this mountain of things built up on you know history that has gone in a thousand different ways, and I'm sorry, I'm losing what I'm saying here, but I think you get the idea.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much built up. It's like our law code, for example. You'll find things that make absolutely no sense to someone today, but they're still in there, and there are things built on them and things built on those, and we we need to take a step back and think about what we actually want to have rather than what we do have. Um, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that um to I think that makes sense. What do you think, what is your immediate vision for our voice social? Like, what are you
Have
looking
rather than
forward
what we
to, like, in the coming months, especially with what's been built right now?
Sorry, I distracted myself by accidentally
Okay.
playing the stream that
You
we're on. You were just asking what I think we can do in the coming months.
Yes.
Okay. Um, right now, I think one of the most important things would be to, um, well, to get the messages that I've been, trying to present out to, um, to that end. I would like this stream to be permanent. If enough people came in right now and said, "I want to sign up. I want to be," I understand what's going on here, and I want to stay here and answer questions and help people, get this. Um, I would be happy to keep this stream running, 24 hours a day forever. um, but that's obviously just a small part of what's going on. But that's kind of where my focus is right now. So if anyone wants to get on the Zoom call with us, I put a link on Facebook from my personal account. So, unfortunately, our voice doesn't have any followers really on social media yet. I'm hoping we can get some through things like this, but I tried to reach out to some people, and I hope some people are watching this. So if anyone wants to join, please do. I guess I should come back to what I said before about
Mhm.
transparency.
Okay. Sure.
I think that's one of the most important things about this is, whatever we do needs to be seen and understood by everyone. Um, I don't want any backroom deals and private meetings. And, obviously we can't, have a stream of every conversation of everyone in the world.
Right.
But, if there's something, you know, a conversation between people who actually have influence over what's going on here right now, I think it needs to be public. And, um, you know, I just want to make sure that everyone really sees what's going on and understands, and doesn't have any reason to, mistrust. I, uh, Especially if we do end up with money from whatever source, that needs to be 100% transparent. I would like, you know, let's say if we did take donations or something, I would want that to come in and as quickly as possible be posted, publicly. And the same with every expense. I would want that to be posted, so that everyone could see what was coming in and what was going out and why. Uh, I don't think I have all of the answers. Great. Apparently, Zoom is popping up a message at us.
Uh-oh.
Did you see that?
No,
Okay, I think it went
I'm
out on the
not.
stream.
I'm not hosting, so apparently it does not yell at me at all.
Yeah.
Oh, it does tell me what remaining time there is, though.
Okay. Well, if no one comes on by the time that runs out, I guess we'll wrap it up for today and come back. If anyone does come on, then we'll either restart it or I'll upgrade the account so that we can keep it going. Now I lost what I was talking about.
Mm.
Um, anyway, I think I was saying that I don't have all the answers. I have put a lot of thought into this, and I think I have some pretty good ideas about what we should and shouldn't do to set this up. I think it's very important that, people of all backgrounds and ideologies and, you know, just that everyone feels represented here and doesn't just feel represented but actually is represented, so that that no one's voices is just shut down. um, I know that there are some ideologies out there based in hate.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not things that I want to support. At the same time, I think that we need to hear from even people with those ideologies and try to find what the root causes of their problems actually are. Um, I,
Although, what do you mean by their problems?
uh, Whatever problems they are hating other people for, you
Uh,
know, there's probably something else going on there.
do
And
you, okay, so you mean the root cause of their anger?
yeah,
Okay.
I when I say problems in these cases, I'm talking about, the issues that people, see in the world or face in their own lives.
Okay. Of
Um,
course. I was just seeking, I just wanted you to
it's good to
clarify
get
the word. Yes,
clarification.
of course. Of course.
So I hope that makes sense.
Yes, that
Um,
does.
I know that some people would be against giving everyone the opportunity to participate, but I feel like once you start excluding people, you cause the same divisions that we're trying to avoid. And I think that we can come to a lot of agreement with, anyone, no matter what their beliefs are. And I think that we can change our beliefs about a lot of things once we, really have conversations about what's going on in the world in our lives and what the actual causes of those things are. Because I don't think they're often what people expect them to be.
Okay. So, what about your like extreme long-term vision, or at least maybe not extreme long-term. What about like near long-term, like maybe in a couple of years?
I mean, extreme long term, I would like to see this process go on indefinitely.
Of course,
I,
yes.
I, I don't know how it's going to develop,
Mhm.
but I, I think that people are always going to need a voice, and you know, I don't care what form it takes. I don't care if we get rid of this branding completely and do something else. I just care that it is one united movement, and that we are always listening and always trying to improve things. Um, in the shorter term, I think that we can, start to identify some of these major issues that we're facing right now, whether it's environmental issues, political issues. In the US, unfortunately, we have a very deep divide right now, and there are people calling for violence. Um, we have wars going on, pretty horrific wars, and not just in Ukraine. And these are things that we can end. War is choices that people make, and if we if we decide not to allow our governments to engage in these things, they will end.
All right. Well, I need to get going. So,
Okay.
all
Um,
right. Thank you, of course, for your time. That was very interesting. Hopefully, other people will be able to engage further. And I must run off. So, good luck out
Thanks.
there. And I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Uh, Enjoy your
Later,
stream.
everyone. Yep. Thank you.
All right. I will keep this going for a couple more minutes. I don't see anything in the YouTube chat right now. If anyone wants to join the Zoom call, just use the link, but I'm going to shut it down pretty quick because I don't want to just sit here and, stammer to myself. but I hope that this has been somewhat informative, and I plan to, come back and continue to do this, hopefully every day. And like I said, if we can get people to sign up to come on and talk and answer questions, I'm happy to have as long a conversation as you want to help you understand where I'm coming from, and hopefully we can get onto the same page. Um, you know, if you already know me, just reach out to me personally. Otherwise, you can contact us through the website, or I guess YouTube, or any of our many platforms. I'll try to put a list of the accounts that we have up on the website so that it's easier to find. You are welcome. Okay. I guess then I will wrap this up for now. Thanks for listening, and talk to you again soon.